So, hello friends. Today we'll discuss a very important topic, that is power sharing and how it is important in a democracy. So, you can see democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And in democracy, it is always preferable that power should be divided, or power should be delegated. Why? Because it helps in grassroots governance, giving governance to the people, and it also helps in preventing the government in becoming too autocratic. So, in democracy, the power is always shared between the three wings of the government, that is legislature, executive, and judiciary. But here we'll also go beyond this topic of democracy, because here we also discuss two unique problems in two countries, like in one was in Belgium, and the other is in Sri Lanka. So what happened in these two countries we'll study, and we will get to know why power sharing is very important for a healthy and vibrant democracy, and for peaceful coexistence among his people. So in Belgium, there is a problem between the French and the Dutch-speaking people. The French people were in minority. They were in 40%, and the rest 15%. 15% was Dutch, and 40% was the French. And this Dutch-speaking people lived near this Flemish region. They were 59%, and the French-speaking lived in Wallonia region, and they comprise 40%. And mainly in the capital city, Brussels, the most of the population were the French speaking. So the French speaking people dominated the economy. So, and this led to resentment between among the Dutch speaking people. So similarly, you see in Sri Lanka, there was two communities. One was the Sinhala native Sinhalese, which comprised 74%, and the remaining 18% were Tamils. So one was two types of Tamil speakers were there. One from Indian, they were Indian Tamils, those plantation workers that were taken by British, or colonial period. They went to Sri Lanka to work in the coffee plants and all. And the other was the natives in native Sri Lankan Tamils. They comprised 13%. Now, firstly, let's see in the example of Belgium. So Belgium, here you see this red portion. These are this red portion is the uh, French speaking population. So this area is German speaking, and this is the capital, Brussels. But this yellow region, this is a Flemish region, this comprise the majority Dutch speaking. But the French speaking people were dominant in everywhere, mostly in economy. And this the Dutch speaking people thought that now, if we allow the situation like this, then we will be uh, subjugated by the French speaking people. So this could possibly lead to a very messy partition of the country, you can see, on the basis of language. But Belgium government did an intelligent process of by sharing, by bringing a process called sharing of power. So, and but similarly, but in if you go to the example of Sri Lanka, uh, the Sri Lankan Tamils are considered mostly in the coastal region, and the Indian Tamils are in the central region. The majority, but when the majority Sinhala speaking people from the government, which was mostly Buddhist, the it tried to put a dominance of the majority over the minority Tamils, who were mostly Hindus and Muslims, and there were also Christians. So, just in sharp contrast to Belgium, where the people decided to share power between the two communities. In Sri Lanka, it was the dominance of the native Sinhala community. They tried to dominate and assert their community and their language and culture over the minority Tamils. So what happened? It led to a rule of majority, or majoritarianism. So in 1956, an act was passed in Sri Lanka, where Sinhala became the only official language. Sinhala became the only official language of Sri Lanka. So this led to, and they were mostly given preference in university positions or government jobs. So the minority Tamils thought that they are being alienated, and this led to a very feeling a little bit bloody, strife between the majority and the minority community in Sri Lanka. So you can see this is the regions. These regions are mostly this region is mostly this red portion is Tamil region, the Tamilian region, and this also the brown portion. Brown is Tamils, native Tamils. These are Indian Tamils, and light this uh, this region, coastal region, are on the scenery Tamils, and the inside this yellowish portion. These are all local Sinhala population. But the constitution was made in such a way that it gave preference to the majority community. So the Sri Lankan Tamils launched a struggle for recognition of Tamil as an official language for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in seeking education jobs. Definitely, it will happen because once the tyranny of majority is established, then the minority community always rises in revolt. Uh, but the demand for their more autonomy was rejected by the government. So by 1980s, there was a very violent struggle in Sri Lanka, and it was almost a civil war-like situation where many people and many families had to leave the country, and many people were killed. And the famous this LTT, the military organization, uh, was very active during this period. But this strife ended in 2009. So let's proceed. Now, let's see how Belgium solved the problem. So between 1970 and 1993, they amended the constitution 4 times. So to work out an arrangement that would enable everyone to live together in the same country. So they amended the constitution so that power can be shared between and the Dutch and the French-speaking people. So what they did, uh, the number of the constitution Sri Lanka, what it says, it prescribes that number of Dutch and French speaking people this shall be equal in the central government. So this is a very innovative way. So the number of French speaking Dutch speaking will be uh, equal in the central government. Now what about the state government? Another important feature is the state government. Many powers of the central government have been delegated to state government. Again, there is like decentralization of power, and it's very helpful. And what happened? The state governments, what was made in the constitution, state governments are not subordinate to the central government, so they have equal power. So there will be no regional strife also. The capital region Brussels had a separate government. So there also the problem of French and Dutch speaking people was solved. The French speaking people had equal representation fair and with the Dutch people. The French speaking people because in Brussels because the Dutch speaking people has equal representation in the, so since the Dutch speaking people had accepted equal representation in the other areas in Brussels where the French speaking people were the majority, they accepted this sharing of power between the French and the Dutch. So this also solved the problem of the majority of the dominance of French speaking people in the capital region. So again, apart from this we have a central and state government. There's another third kind of government in Belgium, which is known as the community government. So each community will have their representation. Uh, so the community government will be like there will be government of each community like Dutch, French, and German speaking. So and uh, they will have the authority to work for their community. So friends, what you learn from this Belgian model is like indeed like this power sharing or power arrangement have worked so far. They helped to avoid civic strife. So it avoided from civil war between the two communities, major communities, and a possible division of the country on linguistic lines. So, like in Pakistan and Bangladesh were same countries, but they were divided on linguistic lines. But Belgium avoided this kind of strife by intelligent sharing of power. While many countries in Europe came together to form the European Union, Brussels was chosen as headquarters, and still Brussels, as an example, it became the headquarter of the European Union. So you can see this is European Parliament in Belgium. It became the headquarter of European Union because it set a model example of how power sharing can solve possible division of the country or strife in the country. So let's learn from the examples of Belgium and Sri Lanka. What we learned in like both Belgium and Sri Lanka were democracies. Yes, yeah, democracies, but still their problem was not solved. In Belgium, the problem was solved where because the leaders realize that the unity of the country is possible only by respecting the feelings and interests of different communities. So this is very important. When there will respect for and feelings for different communities, then the unity of the country will remain intact. But Sri Lanka, since the government tried to assert its majority, the majority power, it led to violence, strife, and struggle in Sri Lanka. And the struggle is still there in Sri Lanka. So still we find there are a lot of problem in Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka shows a contrasting example. It shows that if majority community wants to force the dominance of others and refuses to share by, it can undermine the unity of the country. So it's a very important lesson that democracy, for a healthy democracy, there should be a sharing of power is very important to maintain the unity of the country. That's what we learned in this topic, and see you in the next class. And if you have doubts, any questions, you can write in the comment section. Thank you.